You are a badass. How to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life by Sincero. Have you ever felt like, come on, this is the best I can do? This book is about getting clear about what makes you happy and what makes you feel the most alive, and then creating it instead of pretending you can't have it. You need to go from wanting to change your life to deciding to change your life. And you can make that decision right now. If you want to live a life you've never lived, you have to do things you've never done. The world needs smart people with huge hearts and creative minds to make their difference in the world. This book is broken up into 5 parts. Part 1. How you got this way. Chapter 1. My subconscious made me do it. You are a victim of the rules you live by. Jenny Holzer. It's not your fault that you're messed up. It's your fault if you stay messed up. From the moment you could take it in, people started filling you up with a lifetime's worth of beliefs, many of which have nothing to do with who you actually are or what is necessarily true. The main source of this information was your parents, assisted by society at large. When they were raising you, your parents passed on the beliefs they learned from their parents, who learned it from their parents, who learned it from their parents. The problem is, many of these beliefs have nothing to do with who they actually are or what is actually true. Most people are living in an illusion based on someone else's beliefs. We as humans have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Most of us are only aware of our conscious minds because that's where we process all our information. Our conscious mind thinks it's in control, but it isn't. Our subconscious mind doesn't think about anything, but is in control. Our subconscious mind contains the blueprint for our lives. It's running the show based on the unfiltered information it gathered when we were kids, otherwise known as our beliefs. Example: you were raised by a father who struggled financially, neglected you because he was always off trying and failing to make a living. You developed the following beliefs. Money equals struggle. Money is unavailable. It's money's fault that I was abandoned by my father. Money sucks and causes pain. You will manifest these subconscious beliefs by staying broke, no matter how hard you consciously try to make money, or by repeatedly making tons of money and then losing it in order to avoid being abandoned. No matter what you say you want, if you've got an underlying subconscious belief that it's going to cause you pain or isn't available to you, you either won't let yourself have it, or you will let yourself have it, but you will be really messed up about it, and then you'll go off and lose it anyway. Chapter 2. The G word. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla. Albert Einstein said, "Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous." Wherever you stand on the God issue, let me just say that this whole improving your life thing is going to be a lot easier if you have an open mind about it. All of us are connected to this limitless power, and most of us aren't using but a fraction of it. The universe is made up of source energy. All energy vibrates at a certain frequency. Vibration attracts vibration. The law of attraction. Focus on that which makes you feel good, and you shall find what makes you feel good. All thoughts will turn into things eventually. In order to truly raise your vibration, you've got to believe that everything you want is available to you. This is about your faith being greater than your fear. Chapter 3. Present as a pigeon. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. Lao Tzu. The universe has surrounded us with teachers on how to be in the present. Dogs, for example. My friend's dog is so happy to see her every time she walks in the door. You're happy. I'm happy. You're here. I'm here. I love you. Little kids too. Children get so wrapped up in playing and enjoying the present They wouldn't eat or bathe if we didn't make them. They are in the moment. There's fun in the moment. Period. The life you want is right here, right now. Think of it like electricity. Before the invention of the light bulb, most people weren't aware of electricity's existence. It was still here, exactly the same way it is right now, but we hadn't yet woken up to it. Likewise, it's not the things and opportunities we want in life don't exist yet. It's that we're not yet aware of their existence. The more present you are, the more available you are to download ideas and seize opportunity. The more time you spend in the moment, the richer your life will be. Chapter 4. The Big Snooze. Wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. Kurt Cobain. In the self-help community, ego is used to refer to the shadow self, or the false self, or the self that's acting like a weenie, aka the big snooze. Your true self, or your higher self, or your superhero self, is a part of you that operates according to your connection with source energy. However, believing in yourself and taking great leaps of faith is sometimes labeled as irresponsible, or selfish, or insane. This is because watching someone totally go for it can be incredibly upsetting to the person who spent a lifetime building a solid case for why they themselves can't. You create your reality. Chapter 5. Self-perception is a zoo. I'm okay. I'm not okay. Someone in your life. We spend our lives drifting between glimpses of our own infinite glory and the fear that not only are we totally incapable, unworthy, lazy, horrible, but that it's only a matter of time before someone blows the whistle on us. It's just as easy to believe we're awesome as it is to believe that we suck. Don't forget, you are the only you there is and ever will be. Part 2. How to embrace your inner badass. Chapter 6. Love the one you is. If we really love ourselves, everything in our life works. Louise Hay. We're born knowing how to trust our instincts, how to breathe deeply, how to eat only when we're hungry. We know how to play, create, and love without holding back. Then, as we grow and learn from the people around us, we replace many of these primal understandings with negative false beliefs, fear, shame, and self-doubt. At this point, there are two paths. We either settle for mediocrity, or we rise to the occasion, remember how truly mighty we are, and set out to relearn everything we knew at the beginning all over again. A couple of things to remember. Do things you love. We're all busy, but it's the people who make enjoying their lives a priority who enjoy their lives. Appreciate how special you are. There will never be anyone exactly like you. You were given special gifts and talents to share with the world, and even though everybody has special gifts and talents, nobody will use theirs quite the same way you do. Ditch the self-deprecating humor. Our thoughts become our words become our beliefs become our actions become our habits, and our habits become our realities. Don't compare yourself to others. Comparison is the fastest way to take all the fun out of life. It's none of your business what other people are doing. All that matters is that you're enjoying yourself and pleased with what you're creating. You are more than enough. Forgive yourself. You have screwed up in the past. You will screw up again. Every human is born with the ability to make spectacular mistakes. Get over it. Chapter 7. I know you are, but what am I? I'm not offended by all the dumb blonde jokes, because I know I'm not dumb. I also know I'm not blonde. Dolly Parton. The only questions you ever need to consider when making decisions about your life are, is this something I want to be, do, or have? Is this going to take me in the direction I want to go? Is this going to screw over anybody else in the process? If you can answer yes, yes, no, and are still having doubts, think about this. Nobody who ever accomplished anything big or new did it from their comfort zone. They risked ridicule and failure, and sometimes even death. For example, the Wright brothers. Imagine being their parents or siblings, and the neighborhood finding out that Susan Wright's boys think they can fly. Like, actually fly. Look at how we view them now. You are responsible for what you say and do. You are not responsible for whether or not people freak out about it. What other people think about you has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. If you base your self-worth on what everyone else thinks of you, you hand all your power over to the other people and become dependent on a source outside of yourself for validation. There is a thing as constructive criticism and constructive complimenting. Whenever you get a compliment or critique, ask yourself, is this true? Can I use this information to better myself and the lives of others? If the answer is yes, commit to making the necessary changes. If the answer is no, as Elsa once said, let it go. Chapter 8. What are you doing here? The big question is whether you are going to be able to say a hearty yes to your adventure. Joseph Campbell. A gift, of course, is meant to be given, which is why it's so brutal when we can't figure out what ours is, or when we know what it is, but we're too lame to act on it. Think about Christmas when you have given someone the perfect gift. You stand there, practically begging them to open it. The power of giving is so strong that the excitement and the good feelings are often greater for the giver than for the receiver. When we share what we are brought here to give, we are in alignment with our highest, most powerful selves. Every single person is born with unique and valuable gifts to share with the world. Once we figure out what ours are and decide to live our lives putting them to use, that's when the real party begins. Living a life of purpose is available to everyone. Part 3. How to tap into the mother lode. Chapter 9. Your brain is your bitch. Mind is the master power that molds and makes. James Allen. Our thoughts are the most powerful tools we've got. Your thoughts and beliefs dictate your reality. So if you want to change your reality, you have to change your beliefs. The moment you have the audacity to stop believing in the not yet seen, your reality will begin to shift. You have to change your thinking first, and then the evidence appears. Our big mistake is that we do it the other way around. We demand to see the evidence before we believe it to be true. Remember, everything you desire is right here, right now. Chapter 10. Lead with your crotch. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few. Shunryu Suzuki. The problem is, once we're older and wiser, many people trade in living fully in their purpose for more grown-up versions of life. We've brought in this idea that being responsible equals not having fun anymore. That waking up feeling excited about life is for the young, and once we're older, we need to trade that in, settle down, and be more realistic. Instead, I am talking about continuously living our dreams. No matter what stage of life we're in, instead of settling for mediocrity because we don't believe anything else is available or appropriate. We only get to be in our bodies for a limited time. Why not celebrate the journey instead of merely riding it out until it's over? Chapter 11. Forgive or fester. Forgiveness means giving up all hope for a better past. Lily Tomlin. When we're in physical pain, we're usually extremely proactive about figuring out how to make it go away immediately. Because, it hurts. When it comes to our emotional pain, however, we're apparently way more game for seeing how much torture we can endure, wallowing in our guilt, shame, resentment, and self-loathing, sometimes for entire lifetimes. The moment you decide to forgive and let your negative feelings melt away, you are on the road to freedom. Forgiving someone isn't about being nice to them. It's about being nice to yourself. Finally, decide you'd rather be happy than right. Part 4. How to get over your BS already. Chapter 12. It's so easy once you figure out it isn't hard. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Albert Einstein. We're so deeply wrapped up in our stories. I don't have the money. I'm not good enough. I can't quit my job. I'm lazy. Trudging through life with our head down, that we prevent ourselves from seeing the infinite sea of possibilities and opportunities surrounding us at every single moment. Here's a cool exercise. Right now, look around wherever you are and count the number of things that you see that are red. Take about a minute and count them all. Now stop, pause the video, close your eyes, and try to think of everything around you that's yellow. There's probably a ton of yellow, but you didn't see it because you were looking for red. What you choose to focus on becomes your reality. Our entire experience on this planet is determined by how we choose to perceive our reality. All you have to do is let go of your present story and rewrite a new one that fits who you truly are. Chapter 13. Procrastination, Perfection. In order to kick ass, you must first lift up your foot. Sincero. If there's something you really want, I'm not saying you should lie to get it, but I am saying you're probably lying to yourself if you're not going after it. Because so often, when we say we're unqualified for something, what we're really saying is that we're too scared to try it, not that we can't do it. Most of the time, it's not lack of experience that's holding us back, but rather the lack of determination to do what we need to do to be successful. Procrastination is one of the most popular forms of self-sabotage because it's really easy. If you're serious about changing your life, you will find a way. If you're not, you'll find an excuse. Remember that done is better than perfect. If it's something you want to do, don't wait until you're less busy, or richer, or ready, or 20 pounds lighter. Start right now. You'll never be this young again. If you're not where you want to be in life, keep going. Chapter 14. Fears for Suckers. We tiptoe through life, hoping to safely make it to death. Unknown. To fear or not to fear? That is the question. We've made being in fear a habit. We're taught to play it safe and not take risks, and to caution everyone around us to follow suit. For the most part, when we watch someone take a leap of faith, our first reaction is to scream, "Look out!" We've not only made a habit of smearing our fear and worry and doubt all over each other, but we pat ourselves on the back for it because we believe it shows how much we care. There's something called the crab effect. If you put a bunch of crabs in a bowl, and if one of them tries to climb out, the rest of them will try to pull him back down instead of helping to push him out. This is what happens when we share fear and doubt with each other. Fear itself is all made up because it hasn't even happened yet. Death, going bankrupt, breaking a leg, etc. Most of the time, we have no guarantee that what we fear is even going to happen. Is your fear greater than your faith in the unknown? Or is your faith in the unknown greater than your fear? On the other side of your fear is your freedom. Chapter 15. Millions of Mirrors. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt. We're all attracted to, as well as turned off by, various things about other people. And the things that stand out the most to us are the things that remind us the most of ourselves. The things that bother us about other people bother us because they remind us of something we don't like about ourselves. Our reality is a mirror of our thoughts, the people in our reality included. At the end of the day, it's not about them. It's about you believing you're worthy of being loved and seen for who you really are. It's about respecting yourself, instead of catering to your insecure need to be liked. Part 5. How to Kick Some Ass. Chapter 16. The Almighty Decision. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. The moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. W. H. Murray. The story goes that when Henry Ford first came up with the idea for his V8 motor, he wanted the engine to have all 8 cylinders cast in one block. His team of engineers told him he was crazy and that it was impossible. Ford told them to do it, no matter how long it took. They did it. So often, we pretend we've made a decision when what we've really done is sign up to try until it gets too uncomfortable. Winston Churchill once said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm." The only failure is quitting. Everything else is just gathering information. There's no big mystery to this stuff. If you want something bad enough and decide that you will get it, you will. You just need to remember that you can do it with anything in your life, even the things you presently think are out of reach. Remember, decisions are not up for negotiation. Chapter 17. Money, your new best friend. I worked for a menial's pay, only to learn, dismayed, that any wage I asked of life, life would have willingly paid. Anonymous. When you uplevel your idea of what's possible and decide to really go for it, you open yourself up to the means to accomplish it as well. I'm talking about expanding your beliefs about what is available to you in all areas of your life. Here's the thing. Making money isn't only about the money. Just as losing weight isn't only about losing weight. And finding your soulmate isn't only about finding your soulmate. It's about who you become and what you believe is possible for yourself. Some people are born into cushy lives, full of trust funds and connections and opportunities and fancy educations. Some of these people go on to make great financial success of their lives, and some of these people don't. Some people are born into extreme poverty and live in cardboard box houses by the side of the freeway. Some of these people go on to make great financial successes of their lives, and some of these people don't. Those who achieve success share one key thing: the belief that they can be, do, and have whatever they set their minds to accomplishing. Your beliefs hold the key to your financial success, and the more you have, the more you have to share. Money on its own means nothing. A $100 bill sitting on a table is a piece of paper. It's the energy around it that makes it relevant. Nothing has any value other than the value we put on it. It's all make-believe, or rather, it's all what we make ourselves believe. If we believe we are worth $10 an hour, that's the frequency we'll put out, and that's the kind of client or job we'll attract. The key word is believe. There's a big difference between walking around saying you want to make $1 million a year and having crystal clear intentions, fierce desire, and hell-bent action towards specific goals. Come up with a figure and decide your account will never go below it. The money is there if you really, truly desire it. Chapter 19. Doing versus spewing. God will not have his work made manifest by cowards. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Once something moves from our brains to our bones, that's when we can use it to change our lives. The million-dollar question is, will we? People who are successful are not only willing to get uncomfortable, but they know they have to make a habit of it if they want to stay successful. All life is either moving forward and evolving or shrinking back and dying. If you want to evolve in your own life, you have to push through the obstacles instead of running from them. Obstacles and challenges are the agents of growth. Nobody gets to be large and in charge without facing challenges and moving through them. Finally, Chapter 20. Beam me up, Scotty. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. Audrey Hepburn. You are powerful. You are loved. You are surrounded by miracles. Believe. Really believe that what you desire is here and available to you. and you can have it all. Love yourself. You are a badass. If this video added value to your life, please like, comment, and subscribe.